What up, y'all? Welcome to the Gunslinger Gaming Frosty Pints podcast. I'm Gobi, and with me tonight is Babyboy and Zero Burn. How you all doing tonight?
Good, sir. Good.
Yep, not bad. Sick, but not bad besides that.
So how was the holidays? Good, bad, indifferent?
Can't really
Good.
complain. 5 day
Yeah.
marathon.
Yeah. Got the little one, got everything she wanted, so everybody was happy.
Nice. Yeah, it was a special year for me. I got to have all four of my kids on Christmas morning, so that was pretty neat. The rest of the week was kind of a pain in the ass, but we won't get into that. But Christmas morning was pretty awesome, and the kids really had fun, so that really made the day.
Yeah, when they have fun, it makes everything else better.
Uh, no joke. Plus, I didn't have to see any in-laws or anything like that, so fucking was awesome.
That does make things better.
I have no problem with mine, so.
Some people don't. We won't get into that.
Well, okay. Well, also, I've known my wife since I was 12 years old.
Okay,
So
That
that's a
helps.
little different story there, buddy.
That
yeah,
helps.
so I've known them since I was a kid.
So
So
you guys are like high school sweethearts.
pretty much, like, I literally met her in the sixth grade. Not even joking.
That's pretty awesome. I got my gamer tag in the sixth grade.
My game attack came from one of my friends in high school. I used to really like the song with Sean Paul and Beyonce, Baby Boy, because I'm a huge Sean Paul fan. And then I liked the movie Baby Boy. And then there was a State Property movie which had a Baby Boy in it. So everything I watched and listened to was Baby Boy. So my friend just started calling me Baby Boy, and it kind of just stuck.
Hey, that's the thing about great gamer tags, man. They just happen by accident and they
Yeah.
just stick.
Oh no, mine wasn't an accident. I watched the movie Hackers and was like, "That's it. That's what I'm going with."
That's usually the second way too. Yeah.
Oh, Hackers is such a great and iconic movie. I I loved it. Of course, not just because Angelina was Jolie was in leather. That definitely helped. Not gonna lie.
Hot, hot.
Speaking of oldies, so this is the last Gunslinger Gaming podcast of 2019,
Of the
end of the
decade.
decade. Now, I think between the three of us, I've been a gunslinger longer than all you guys. I've been here since 2013, I believe, is when I joined. Um, so I've been here most of the decade and seen it change from then to now. Um, Baby boy, you're pretty recent, right? You've been
No,
here
I've
what, a
actually been
couple
around. I think
years?
for like 5 years. I would say something like that. I've been around
Wow,
for a while.
longer than I thought. Zero, how long you
Yeah,
been here?
the thing is, I kind of ghost a lot. I just watch this stuff, and then every once in a while, I'm like, "Hey, how you guys doing?"
So, how many of y'all remember Chad Ango?
Oh my god.
Oh, I remember. I still remember logging in for the first time. It was August 23rd, 2013. Um, I was looking for people to play Warframe and Battlefield 3 with, and I ended up meeting Sosink and Sarge, and obviously McMurphy and some other stuff. But I ended up playing a lot of Rust on a Gunslinger server that Sarge paid for, and so sick ran. Um, and then shortly after that, I started running a Arma 3 server. I built it, I ran the map, all that stuff. And So Sick was actually the admin. He helped me out with it and stuff like that. And we had a lot of crazy ass times in Arma 3 on those missions. I was a brutal fucking asshole. You can ask anybody. I was mean when I made that fucking mission. It was awesome. And I had a giant orange helicopter. Because why
Yeah,
not?
I remember actually that was one of my first. Even though I never played Armor, That was one of my first experiences meeting you. Is hearing you talk about armor left and right on the website.
Oh yeah, I was well, I got over 1,000 hours in the game. I actually still dabble playing it, making missions and whatnot. It's one of those games that it's been around for almost a decade now. I think it came out originally in 2011. It was in beta or alpha, or maybe it was 2012. Um, and seeing what it has grown into today is just amazing. It is a great game because you can make it anything you want it to be, pretty much. I mean, I have played Halo, um, with the whole, the drop ships and stuff that they had. The Warthogs were in it. Of course, that mod got a cease and desist order. Go figure.
What? They
Oh
were protecting
No.
one of
oh
the
yeah.
only three properties that they have. What?
Yeah, I played some Star Wars in there too. Um, yeah, it's just been crazy watching, like, even the forms change from 2013 to now. Uh, what about you, Zero? Like, how do you remember Chad Ango and is it Ventrilo? Can't even remember
Uh,
anymore.
I was not actually in the clan when Ventrilo was going on. Chadango was something that was spoken about when I first joined, but I didn't really get to experience it. But I've been around since year one of Destiny 1, so we're talking a good 6 years, 5 6 years.
Okay.
Um, all of the guys that I used to roll with are not even part of the clan anymore. Um, so I've been able to outlast the people who got me in.
Yeah,
So
I mean, huge shout out to Sosik. He's one of the guys. He kind of took me under his wing. He was actually a leader. He was one of the only PC leaders back in the day, and he was the one who nominated me for leadership and stuff like that. And since then, he's kind of tapered off, but he did start his own company and stuff like that. He's been successful in doing that, and now he's doing some work with some other streamers and stuff with Atlas, a game on Steam. It's kind of like Sea of Thieves. Um, so, I mean, we all kind of grow, and some of us fall off, and some of us stick around. I mean, I've been pretty constant for years. I mean, it's
Yeah, like I said, for me, so I look at the chat. It's just I go through my times where I just don't feel like typing, but I'll read to see how everybody's doing all that stuff. So like, um, but yeah, I think I joined up around the time pretty much when Xbox One, shortly after Xbox One launched, because I hadn't really played the 360 by the end, and fell off of the Xbox like that. So when I came back, I didn't have the group I play with, so I wanted to play with a couple people, and I was looking online to see who I could team up with, and I saw one for adult gamers. Don't have to worry about little kids running around yelling at you. I was like, this sounds good. Let's try this.
yeah,
And
been a
so that
pretty
was around
positive
the Xbox
experience.
One. Yeah, I met when I first started. I think what really kept me going for as long as I've been staying around was literally the first time. I think it was Hireling. I saw him online on a Battlefield 4, I think it was, and I was like, you know, hey, you mind if I jump in? Never met him. It just said on the website, just put yourself out there, and people will invite you. So I did that. I was like, hey, mind if I jump in? He's like, yeah, sure, come on. And I played with a bunch of people that I never met at the time. Just all started talking to me like I was in it forever. So I was like, all right,
Yeah,
I'm sticking around.
I actually started out on Xbox too, way back in the day when started out. I was Xbox 360, and I just rebuilt my gaming PC, and I was doing the Warframe Alpha, but my big game was Battlefield 3, and I remember playing Battlefield 3 with like Dunk and
Hmm.
oh god, I can't even remember who else. But yeah, we
Probably
did that
Hireling, because
whole
Hireling, that's all he played, man.
oh yeah, I think he was he was one of the guys too. Like we had some crazy matches, and it was just good times. Um, then I moved to PC and I started going more into PVE games and stuff like that. And when the Division came out, we had such a good time with that. There were so many people playing it, and a lot of good games there too. And it's made lifelong friends. Lamp, who's actually a PS4 guy. I haven't heard from him for a while, so I hope he's doing good. But for years, he would remember my kids' birthday and give
Hmm.
my kids a shout out on their birthday every year. And so it was kind of cool because they would get birthday wishes from Germany, and they would go to school, and that was their highlight. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, I have friends in Germany that wish me happy birthday and stuff." And
Wow, Lamp. I haven't talked to him in a while, man.
so then we'd always return the favor. I'd always get my kids together and they'd like sing happy birthday or whatever to his son, who has ended up had a birthday pretty much roughly the same time. So when my daughter's birthday, my birthday, his son's birthday, and then my son's birthday. And so we had this like back and forth every year at that time. And it was just super neat for the kids. Obviously Lamp and I played a lot of Arma 3 together because he was also a PC guy too. But yeah, it's crazy. I lifelong friends, Doc and Omega and Leet. I mean, I've known those guys for years. They're not with us tonight because they're doing a D&D podcast, I think, or a D&D game. Um, but yeah, I would have never met any of these guys without Gunslingers, and it's been pretty amazing, I have to say. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I can honestly say that I've made a lot of really good friends, people who I know I can go to, who I can talk to through, um, through whatever. The guys who I joined the clan because of were guys that I worked with, and it was he was just one day just straight up was like, dude, you've got Destiny. We play together anyway. Why don't you do this? Sent me the link for the old website
Yep.
and was like, join here. And just, in the 5 years that I've been here, the growth that I've seen, going from being just a grunt to being in leadership has been amazing for me.
yeah, it's interesting. Baby Boy is the only member we got here. The other two of us are leaders. Um,
I
but
tried, okay? I tried. But then again, I play like every single freaking system. So
yeah, it's it's tough. I mean, I donate a lot of time. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it. I love doing all that stuff. It kind of gives me a uh, release from reality. I mean, my life's been pretty chaotic over the last decade, so having, gunslingers is a place where I can go and it's just about gaming and it's really like a family. Like people there care, and they listen, and they love to talk shop. And there's always those great funny stories of meeting new people and stuff. Like one of the guys that I probably played with more than anybody else at this point, Necro, who I had actually invited to play or come to the podcast tonight. Unfortunately, he doesn't have internet because there's a snowstorm hitting northern Wisconsin right now and knocked his
yeah.
internet out. Um, but the funny thing with him is we were playing, I don't remember what game we were playing at this point, and I remember saying, "Oh, that's fucking gay," and nobody says a word, and all of a sudden Necro goes, "I'm gay." I'm like, fuck, like insert foot into mouth and choke on it. And he never took it serious or anything like that, and we've been great friends ever since. I mean, and it just
Yeah, he's very cool about it. Like I remember the first time I found out was we were talking about music, and I'm a huge Eminem fan. Like that's my favorite artist of all time. And then he told me his, and he didn't specifically say it, but then he told me later on, like casually. I was like, yeah, dude, I figured that. I mean, it's fine. I don't care.
No, and it was actually great. I mean, it was a huge life learning experience for me too. Like, I mean, I'd known other gay people, but like he's the first gay guy that I've ever really like befriended, and it really like it was a great life experience, and I got to thank Gunslinger Gaming for it too. I mean, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, I have family members who are, so to me, it's like it was nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
But
and the craziest part is he is probably the closest gunslinger to me. He lives about 3.5 hours away
damn,
um, from me. When he lived in Minnesota, and then when he moved to Wisconsin too, he's stayed about 3.5 hours away from me. GT Deering, another Gunslinger Gaming. He's from Missouri. He's pretty close to some family members down there. Yeah, another great guy that I would have never met without Gunslingers. And it's crazy. I think I have more friends now because of Gunslinger Gaming than I do because of like real life connections. Like the guys and girls that are on the site are just amazing people, and it's I'm so lucky to know them, and I'm very humbled to be a leader for them. Like it's been an amazing experience, and you know I just kind of I do this podcast to say thanks to them too because it's for those guys. It's for Gunslinger Gaming. I mean, so
Don't cry. It's okay.
yeah, seriously,
uh,
bringing
but
the new
moving
year like with tears and stuff.
right. Well, we can move on to some gaming stuff. Winter sales. I mean, they are all over the place. Have you?
Yeah.
So baby
I
boy, how much money you spend?
I've been good. I got
Only a
I
hundred
got a
bucks.
well, yeah, I've got a $50 card from the missus, and I used almost all of it. I've been using those Steam sales very well. I got 4 games, and I think I told you when I first got it. I've been preparing for this moment for years. Okay, I've been getting those $2 Steam sales for years. I have a backlog already before I even had a computer.
Hey, that is not a bad thing to have, buddy. Like,
Nope. As my cousin, who's a PC gamer, I asked him, "So, how many games you have?" Because I was like, "Oh, maybe we could, I'll log into yours and play whatever." It's like, I have like 4. Like, how do you have 4 and you're a PC gamer? It's like I don't even have a PC and I have like 40. How is this possible?
oh yeah, dude, it's crazy. And what's funny is I've been using more GOG, which is actually owned by CD Projekt Red, who,
Yep.
if you don't know, they're the makers of the Witcher series, and that weird game that's coming out in April. I think it's called Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh yeah, and I wasn't excited for it until Witcher became like my second favorite game of all time, and now I'm kind of excited.
Yeah. And then this last year they did something awesome, and they put out GOG Galaxy 2.0, and it has been amazing. I use it as my go-to launcher. I don't even hardly open up Steam anymore or Origin or Uplay. Like I open up GOG Galaxy and I click on the game and I click fucking play and the game just opens and plays, and it's simple, it's easy. I can see what all my friends are playing on the other side. It doesn't matter what system they're on. I can't message them yet, but they're working on it. So I mean,
That's why you have Discord.
right. I mean, and I'm always here. Like I think I live here.
No, I have to try that more then because I have Steam. Which we're gonna talk about Game Pass. I have that, so like I have a backlog as of now. I only got it a couple days ago. I have a backlog, but I'm
Uh,
excited and I have to try GOG more because I do have Do I have it? I think I have one game on there that they gave out free at one point or something like that.
oh, there's another game for free too. A while back they gave Wasteland 2 for free. Um, and now they got another one. It's Tower of Light or something like that. It's free for the next 48 hours, probably less than that at
Oh
this
yeah, I
point.
meant to do. Yeah, I meant to get that. I forgot to get that. I know they were
Um,
giving away on Epic. They gave away Hello Neighbor today, which
yeah, and
free.
that's
Don't I can't complain.
Actually, not a bad game. Uh,
Well, either way, I download it because I'm not one to complain. It's a free game. They don't have to give it to me anyways. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's Epic gets a lot of hate, and I get it. I understand some of the hate, but they're really trying. I mean, some of the free games they give out aren't great, but they're pretty good. I got a while back. I got Your Turn or something like that. I can't. It's a North mythology game, which is pretty neat because my son is named Loki after the North god. Um, I come from Norwegian
trickster.
heritage and stuff. Yeah, he was my favorite god growing up. I used to listen to North fairy tales and stuff like that as bedtime stories because of my mom's heritage and stuff. And so I always said if I ever have a son, I'm gonna name him Loki because I know how mischievous I was, and they always say your kids are worse than you are. I can testify that. I can verify that it's the fucking God's honest truth, and I feel sorry for everybody. And I'm just gonna apologize now because he's gonna be a little hellion when he grows up. I know it. He knows it, and everybody else should know it too.
Mm.
But yeah, I saw like on Xbox and PS4, they got some pretty good deals on the new Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. Um, Other than that, I
Oh,
didn't
speaking
really
of,
see like a whole lot of great
well,
sales this
I saw
time.
one. I didn't jump on it, but it's not on digital. But I don't know if it's still available. If anybody wants to go on right now, check it. Depending when this goes up, Amazon, I think Target have Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order for like $33.
Oh, that is a great deal. I mean,
So
it's like 45 or 43 digitally
yeah,
everywhere.
I saw that today. I was like, oh, but I've been trying. I'm kind of holding out because I'm kind of waiting for it to go on Origin Access, or if it doesn't go on there, at least waiting until it's 30 on PC so I could play elsewhere.
So now, do you have Origin access as well?
I haven't yet. I was going to get it, because the wifey when I was talking about maybe getting it, and she's like, "How much does it cost?" I was like, "No, wait, hold on for now," because I wanted to make sure I had the internet thingy down packed. Now that I have the hotspot, it would be perfect. But I thought about getting the premium one because that's the $100 a year, but you could play every game at launch and everything.
I
And
mean, if you're gonna go that route, that's probably not a bad route. I mean, they have a lot of great games. The Battlefield series are pretty much. I know people are gonna hate me for this. Are pretty much worthless on the Game Pass on Origin Game Pass because nobody plays the older ones. Like,
so for me, the reason why I personally held out was I don't I do like EA games, but right now the only one that I don't have that I super want is Star Wars. So I feel like I could hold out for $30 or for it to be on the basic one for $30 for the year. That's
or
why I didn't go the 100 route.
you wait another 3 months to the Steam summer sale, and it'll be
Yep.
like $30, and you can pick it up for cheaper than that. And
And then guess who's getting it then? This guy.
yeah,
Well, if my car wasn't going into the shop on Thursday, I would be buying a few games on Steam myself. But
oh
But
yeah, that's
counterpoint,
that's right.
can
Zero just joined the dark side as well.
see, so counterpoint, you buy the games and you don't have to a car to go anywhere, so you can play the games. See, so
but
it's a
then,
win.
but then I also don't have a job to buy
Then you
them.
can play even longer.
So yeah, I enjoy my marriage. Can I just say that?
He's a smart man. He's a smart man. To Zero's wife, you're a lucky woman.
She'll
think.
understand.
Oh
Tell her
yeah.
you'll take care of the household stuff. That's all.
Oh, being a single dad, dude, and having to go to work and do all the house chores and stuff like that. Zero, keep your job.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't mind some of the stuff. I don't. I just there's some stuff I'm
Yeah.
like, nah, I can't. I don't do laundry because I know everything will come out pink. So I'm like, you do that. Like you do that stuff.
At least you're honest about it.
I know 100% I'm shrinking something or I'm turning everything pink. Guaranteed. So I'm
Well,
like,
see,
babe, you do that.
just don't put anything red or pink or maroon in with whites, and
The
you'll be
problem is,
pretty
I mean,
safe.
it's not 100% proven, but I'm 90% sure I'm colorblind. So it doesn't help because there's some things I'm like, babe, that's black, and she's like, no, that's gray. I'm like, no, that's clearly black.
Oh,
She's like,
dude,
no, it's gray. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
did you guys remember seeing that picture of the shoe that went through social media a while back, where it was either pink or gray?
Shoot, I don't remember.
Like
I
that
remember the
you were.
dress one, like the blue and
Oh
the.
yeah, yeah. Like left brain or right brain, it was different colors for different fucking people. Like that shit was trippy as fuck.
That
Yeah,
dress, that weird dress.
yeah, that one going around. That to me, it was all the 5 different colors. Because I'm telling you, literally the other day I asked her, like, we have pretty much the same type of jacket, and hers is black, mine is gray, and I was like, wait, is this one mine? She's like, yours is gray. I'm like, isn't this one gray? She's like, no, that's black. I'm like, I give up. I don't know.
Just give up, man. Give up.
Yeah, so that's why I don't trust myself to do laundry. Just saying.
In the words of an amazing band, don't stop believing, man. Don't stop believing.
I gave
Um,
up trying.
Yeah. So Fortnite added split screen on consoles. I know you guys probably don't play this. Uh,
Nope.
Pretty awesome for me. Because now my kids can actually play together on the Xbox. And they also brought back the Founders Pack at 50% off. Now, I want to touch on this because this is the only part of Fortnite that I actually enjoy. And I dare say I really enjoy it. Is the Founders Pack gives you access to Save the World, which is like their zombie like mode and stuff. And it is so much fun. It's you got to go around and collect resources, and then it's like a tower defense. You got to build your tower though, and then you got to defend it from hordes of zombies, and it is a blast with me and my
See,
kids.
that's the thing. Like, playing with kids, that's what really makes things better. But like, personally, for me with Fortnite, I played it for like 2 days. So yeah, all right, and then I stopped playing. I like city builders. I like shooters. I don't like them together. So when I'm shooting at somebody and he builds a freaking hotel, I don't want to play anymore. I'm done. Like,
You're sitting there shooting. Okay, motherfucker, you can build a hotel under fucking fire. You're
that's what I'm saying.
hired.
I don't get it. I don't understand it. I tried to build. I built like a stick on the floor, and this mofo has a 5-star hotel. Like, no, I don't want to play no more.
Yep, I'm done. Fuck you. I'm out.
I'll go back to Call of Duty. There's no building at the game.
Yeah, well, when we were talking about Call of Duty a little bit earlier, I picked it up on PC, and I was telling Zero I was actually really impressed with their matchmaking. Not, I know it gets a lot of hate for other reasons, but the reason I was impressed is I play with a controller exclusively on PC. And I went into a lobby and I started playing, and it put me in a lobby with all of the controllers. Like,
Hmm.
nobody had a fucking sword and board. Like, it was me with a controller versus a bunch of other people with controllers. And every match, that's how it was. Like, that was awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
it's fun enough to realize who has what, and it tries its best to match you up with everybody who has. Because when I was in the beta, I don't have the game, but when I was in the beta, it did the same. It would match you up once in a while with keyboard, but for the most part, it was pretty good.
yeah, and the co-op is so fucking brutal. Like, I've yet to complete one of their co-op missions. Like, it is just fucking brutal. I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's really enjoyable, but it's fucking brutal. I mean, it's almost as brutal as Insurgency Sandstorm, but not as quite. Which, when that game finally comes out for
Try
you guys on Xbox or PS4 or whatever, definitely pick it up.
guys now.
It's a great fucking game. Um, and now that you have PCs, you can pick it up on PC, and then it's great there too. It looks amazing.
That's one I do want to try. I want to try that. It's just I mainly play single player, because I don't really play at home much anymore. And now that I'm going to be bringing it to work, I'm going to be playing solo at my desk.
Hey, dude, that sounds like a horrible job where you have to play video games at a desk.
Shh! Don't take it away from me.
Gosh, your life.
Why do you have to ruin everything for people, man?
I know, I'm such a negative Nancy. Or
I'm
as
like,
my ex would say, an emotionless asshole.
dude, I got like 30 plus hours in The Witcher on the Switch, and I played it exclusively at work. So,
I've never played any of the Witcher's games.
oh my god, okay. This has been the Gunslinger podcast for the year 2019. We are ending it now. Bye.
Yeah, no, it's like they're on my list. They're like Skyrim. I want to love Skyrim. Like, I love the genre, like I love the lore of Skyrim. I love the look of Skyrim. I just can't fucking stand hack and slash games for that long. Like, I don't know what it is. I just can't, like...
It's so
get
good, man.
immersed.
It's so good.
I mean, the other thing is, I didn't even realize... But did you guys know that Elder Scrolls Online has been live for 5 years?
Good for them. They're finally starting to catch up to. Oh no, they'll never be as good as WoW.
Hey, I actually like Elder Scrolls. Okay,
Yeah.
I've never was a WoW person. I did try. My cousin was super into it, and he tried to get me into it. I'm like, no, I don't like this. Screw this game. But Elder Scrolls Online, I love. I played. Well, I went on disability. I played like 100 plus hours in it.
I tried to. I mean, I joined the one clan. I don't remember what it was because Kate Beckinsale voiced the one actor. So, of course, that was the one I had to go to. Like, because, I mean, who doesn't want to hear Kate Beckinsale's voice in their ear?
I mean, that's not a lie.
I mean, right?
You do have a penis, so...
Yes.
Or at least, I'm sorry, I assumed your gender. I believe you may have a penis.
I'm a firm believer in there's only two genders, male and female. Hate me if you want. I don't give a shit. I'm a male. I like females. Okay, I'm straight, white, male. I know I'm like the worst person on earth right now. I'm okay with this, because it is who I am.
Oh, God. Okay, well, tangent over. We have officially ended the podcast, and the clan will fall apart any day now.
Yeah.
Hashtag cancel culture.
Cancel culture. Yes. No. Speaking of stuff that got canceled, fucking Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Oh, this is one of those games.
That didn't get canceled though. Didn't they say they were gonna fix it?
Yeah, no, they just moved the patch into next year. It was supposed to come out like 2 weeks ago, but their game was so broken that they had to push it back to fix all the bugs in the patch that they were going to put out. The only cool thing about that happening is whatever one of the bugs was, it had to do with battle rewards, which is kind of like they have their factions. So as you leveled up, you got these different rewards or whatever. And because of the bugs, they decided to give everybody the rewards from Season 1 and Season 2. So you got immediately like 50 rewards for just logging into the game at some point between launch and when they gave out the battle rewards, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And it was nice of them because, obviously there's a bug. There's a couple that you can't get yet because they're still fucking broken. I'm assuming you won't be able to get those until at least the 1.1 update comes out, which is in January. As much as I say that, I love the game. Like, it's a lot of fun. It does have some optimization issues that they seriously need to get fixed, but overall, I really enjoy the game. I mean, it's like any other game. It's got some bad points, like the stamina system and being a super special ops soldier and not being able to run down a hill without falling on your ass and sliding. Just saying.
Supposed to show you
from Wisconsin, and I can run down a hill without falling on my ass.
No matter how much super soldier like you are, gravity will always kick your ass.
Oh, always. It is a great equalizer. It's not the fall. It's the sudden stop at the bottom.
Exactly. Shoelaces will always be the same body distance.
Uh, yeah, and that's crazy though. I mean,
I want to try that game because like I do like the Ghost Recon games. I didn't get into what was it Wild
Wildlands.
whatever the hell. Yes, I
Oh,
didn't get into
dude,
that one. I
I
played the
highly
beta.
recommend it. Like, I highly recommend going back and playing Wildlands from start to finish. Um, it's funny, Doc or Dr. Nagel, he was never a Ghost Recon guy, like ever. Um, and I actually shot him an invite for the beta for Ghost Recon Wildlands. I played every single one of the technical tests, the alpha, the beta, like everything for Wildlands. Like I saw it, I played it a year before it released, and I watched it grow. And then Doc ended up picking it up, and I was the first person in the clan to 100% it. Doc was second, and he's not a Ghost Recon fan at all. And he's got like 200 and some hours into the game. For somebody who is a rookie to the Ghost Recon series, like it really, and it's way better now than what it was then. Um, and the DLC they came out with, they had one really shitty DLC, which they tried to turn it into Grand Theft Auto, which was just fucking horrible. And the other one was really good. So Fallen Ghost DLC, I highly recommend getting and playing through the entire story of Ghost Recon Wildlands. It is a really good game, and
Can you
it's
play it offline at all, like, or is it?
Wildlands. Yes, Wildlands. You can play completely offline the entire story.
All right, I might pick it up because I'm. That's what we were saying with the how it got better. I heard it did get better. That's why I was contemplating, but again, I really don't
Uh,
play at home that much anymore. Backlog, all
Breakpoint
that.
is you cannot play offline. You have to have an online connection the entire time. Now, with that being said, offline play for Breakpoint was one of the biggest requested community changes after the game was put out, because it is the first Ghost Recon game that you cannot play offline, and people absolutely fucking hated it. The whole
I could
reason you
imagine.
cannot play Breakpoint offline is because of the Destiny style Erewhon or whatever. It's like their big community hub. Um,
Oh,
and that's the only reason. Everything else in the game you could play completely offline, but because of that one major thing in the middle, they call it's Erewhon or something. I always call it something else because of Frozen. Thanks, kids. Um,
I'm an adult.
oh God, I can't even tell you how many times I saw that show. Like, and I know when Frozen 2 comes out on digital, I'm gonna have that fucking shit memorized because that's all the kids are gonna want to watch again.
to be
So
fair, that movie looks pretty good. Okay,
to
because
be
I have a
to
little
be
girl, so I watch all those. I've watched 100,
oh
princesses.
Moana.
Yes, we watched
Oh
that one a lot.
oh good. Yeah, I mean I love my daughters. I really do. Um, I'm not really sure I love all their movie tastes. But I will say Frozen was a really good Disney movie. I did enjoy it. I'm not bagging on it at all. The only reason I didn't enjoy it is because I had to watch it like a million times, and some of those were back to back to back to back, like a whole day of watching nothing but Frozen. Um, yeah.
It's only bad when you start humming the songs at work. That's when you know you watch it too much.
Let it go, let
Yeah,
it
I'm sitting there
go.
on the train just singing it. I'm like, God damn it.
I'm a grown ass man and I'm singing Frozen.
Like trust me, I love Disney. I love all the like pretty much not all the movies. I'm not a huge fan of Dumbo. Honestly, I
Yeah, that
don't care
was
for it.
You
no.
want your kids to be singing some really funny shit. Introduce them to Rocky Horror.
Ah,
Actually, my wife loves that.
my
So no, but
my
like I just when it comes to Disney, when they had the Disney Plus, the 3-year package, I jumped on that in a heartbeat because we're all Disney fans, and I'm like Star Wars, Disney, all under one roof. Yes, please. they had a 10-year package, I would have bought that too. But they, so we watch all of them, and we're trying to get her into the older ones. We're gonna go through the back catalog of Disney with Sword in the Stone and all that.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
you got the kids
classics.
have got to see Sword in the Stone because that is the quintessential Disney movie. It
Yeah,
is
there's
everything that is right about Disney.
Yeah, so I
it's
want to get her to watch that.
oh yeah. Plus, you can go back and watch some of the classics. Like, I mean, I grew up. Obviously, my sister was a huge Disney fan, so I watched The Little Mermaid. I don't know how many fucking times as a kid, and Beauty and the Beast and all those stuff. And I actually sat down and watched a couple of them with my daughters right after Disney Plus came out, and they aged really well. Like, I was shocked. You watch some older movies, even play older games, and they just don't age well.
Oh,
Disney
Disney ages
movies,
perfectly. Lion King came
yeah.
out yesterday, and it would be an amazing movie.
Oh yeah, the original Lion King is great. It still tears at the heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah.
My dad had passed, so like anything with dads now, I can't get through Coco without freaking bawling my eyes out.
Oh. Oh, there's so another Netflix show that just came out, Six Underground. There's a line in there about that movie too, about how the guy couldn't make it through the Coco without becoming a ball of tears, and that was
That's
fucking
me.
hilarious.
I was sitting there. I was bad.
So you're a
And
big
all
6 foot, like 3 huge black guy with a fro, because that's.
no, not that, but you know what else other does it? The movie Sing.
Oh,
There's, you guys
dude,
saw that, but
Yeah, that movie didn't make me cry, but it was
that's
there.
a
no,
weird movie.
you see, my dad was battling cancer, and the year he passed, that movie came out. So we went to go see it a few days before he passed, and the moment the dad escapes and then hugs his son and
You're
says,
done.
"I'm proud of you," I was sitting in the theater and I was just like bawling my eyes out. My wife was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine. Just don't look. I'm...
Yeah, just don't look at me. Don't look at me."
Yeah.
Yeah, that it's like when Pete's Dragon, the live action version of Pete's Dragon came out. Nah, I'm good. It's on Disney Plus, and I was like, no, no.
But
There's.
that's the thing. You see, life makes you weak. It makes you weak. I tell you, because I always was I was a solid. I was a rock. Nothing bothered me. Movies, games, nothing. I had my little one, and the scene in The Last of Us at the beginning, I bawled my eyes out, and I never cried in a video game before.
Oh yeah. There's some crazy moments in video games too. Like, yeah,
Well, did you guys play Last of Us? Did you both, either one of you?
I did not.
I'm not a PlayStation guy
Okay.
myself.
Well,
Yeah.
this is a spoiler. It's a very old game. It's a spoiler for the very beginning of the game, and you should pretty much know because the girl Ellie, who's the main star of the game, is not his daughter. His daughter, they show at the beginning of the game, and she gets shot by a marine or some military guy, and she dies in his arm. And I just had my daughter when I saw that.
Oh, dude.
So I was thinking like, why would they shoot the little girl?
Wrecked.
I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god, I cried in a video game for the first time ever.
But that's one of those things that video games have really done. Like the God of War game too. Um, there were some moments in
Boy,
that too.
yeah, when
Um,
he called him boy.
great. I mean, just great storytelling. I mean, I will say PlayStation did win the decade. As far as exclusive games go, they had some great ones. Uh, Hopefully, Microsoft has pulled their head out of their ass and decided that they're gonna
Yeah, okay.
do some of that too. Um, well, the Gears 5 story, it was, it sucked me in. Like, I was not expecting
Yeah, Gears 5 was
to
good.
get sucked in. Like I did not. I'm a huge Gears of War fan. Like I'm probably the biggest Gears of War fan, obviously in this podcast, but I might be the biggest Gears of War fan in Gunslingers. I have thousands of hours into the games. Like I go back and replay the first Gears of War just because. Um, and I did not finish the story of Gears of War 4. Like I never completed. I still to this day have not completed the campaign for Gears of War 4.
The
Um,
ending was sick though. The ending for Gears 4,
um,
it was pretty
but
good.
I started Gears 5 campaign and I was like, what happened is my internet got shut off. And for whatever reason, I lost it. It was stupid long ordeal. Basically, they had to replace every piece of my line from here to the substation to fix my problem. So I had a month where like I didn't have good internet, and I started the Gears 5 campaign, and before I knew it, it was like fucking midnight 1 a.m. and I got to go to fucking work the next day, and like I couldn't believe that I just played that long in a fucking Gears campaign, and all I was doing like I didn't even progress the story. I was just going around doing side quests and exploring the fucking map because it was just so engrossing. And by the time I actually finished the campaign, like I felt rewarded for playing. Like it was, I enjoyed the campaign. Like it was a very well done campaign. It was well written, and I enjoyed the map. Like, granted, again, I'm a Gears of War fanatic, so take that with a grain of salt, if you will. But yeah, I really enjoyed the entire campaign.
Well, see, here's speaking of Gears and Xbox. Here's the problem that really doesn't really get seen that much because of this whole fanboy, this, that, whatever. Technically, Xbox did have games at the beginning of the generation. The problem is they released all the franchises within the first year. That was it. They had nothing else after that.
Yeah, it
So
was like
while
Gears. I guess Gears 3 was this decade, wasn't it?
yeah, everything came out, like Gears 3 and 4 pretty much came out, close to the beginning of the lifespan of the one,
Yeah.
and then um, they had Forza come out, they had a Halo come out, they had all these games come out at the beginning of the life cycle. And people forget that because PlayStation became and dominated with everything else. But at the beginning, PlayStation literally had nothing. I was a day one
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 person, and there was no. We had Infamous and Killzone. That was pretty much it.
Yeah. When did the Uncharted game come out? Cause that
Uncharted
got
4
like
came out like 2-3 years later. I
that
bought the
was.
PlayStation 4 day one. I was excited for Uncharted 4, and they're like, "Oh, we delayed it."
I
I'm like,
love it.
well, at least I still have played. I still have the other games, but like, I was excited. Uncharted is my series on PlayStation. I love that series, and I was super excited. And then when they delayed, I was like, "No, you got to be kidding me! I wanted it so badly." But yeah, it was supposed to come out like around launch, and that didn't really come out around launch. So like, every first party game from them came out like 2 years later, and then they kind of went slowly build up until they blew up with God of War, Spider Man,
Um.
no Neo, and all that stuff. So everything just took over. But
What was that? Was it New Horizons or something like that, or
well, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn? Like that was one of those games that I was like, oh, I was really looking forward to it. I would love for it to come out on PC because it just looks like a game that would look amazing on PC. Like I could care less if it came out on Xbox, but like put it on fucking PC because I just know that game would excel on PC. It was
Well,
one of the. I mean, the rest of the exclusives I could really have cared less about. I mean, I never got into the God of War series, um, mainly because I never really played PlayStation. I think I owned a PlayStation 3 for like 3 months and played some Killzone and some Dust 514. I think that was my favorite PlayStation 3 game. Was a free game you got, Dust 514.
hey, it usually happens. Apex, I played a lot of that free game. No,
So,
but speaking of Horizon, though, I think it's going to be on PlayStation Now in January, and I'm not sure how PlayStation Now works with PC, but there might be a way to be able to play that on PC. Not 100%
Uh,
sure on that. Don't quote me on that. But
yes, PlayStation Now does work on PC. Um, according to some of the YouTubers that I watch. Seeing as
so then
it was just
you would might
delay.
have a chance of playing PS4, Horizon.
Oh, I might have to dust off my PlayStation ID.
Can I just tell you, we were talking earlier about how much time we've spent in certain games. Um, I they somebody made the mistake of putting a tracker of time wasted in Destiny.
Uh,
Um,
1,500 hours.
uh, Close actually, you went over. Um,
Uh,
1,338 hours and 57 minutes, and that does not include the time that I am currently playing as we speak.
I'm
uh,
playing right now, dude. We're talking. I'm fine.
yeah.
Uh,
What's funny is
so
I got over 1,000 hours into the first division, um, and yeah, that was like that kind of became my go-to game. But I mean, Ghost Recon series is way up there, and thank God they did not have time trackers when I started playing Gears of War, because I didn't want to know. Like, I played Gears of War 3 Horde mode offline for fucking hours and hours and hours and hours. It
Yeah,
was
my most played games were usually Call of Duty, Gears of War, Halo. Those are like I played a lot because multiplayer. Once the multiplayer for these games, and I had a crew going, so I was like, I could have put them down. But I, speaking
yeah.
of Xbox, though, that
See,
Game
I
Pass, bro.
was like Call of Duty Black Ops was kind of like the last real PvP game that I got into with a full crew. That was actually before my Gunslinger Gaming days. Um, I was in a different clan, and it was just like 5 or 6 of us, or 6 or 7 of us, and all we did was play domination on um, Black Ops, and it was a lot of fun. And then obviously we kind of went our separate ways, and that's kind of how I ended up looking for Gunslingers because I wanted that again. Like you, there's just something about running with a full crew that you know.
Yeah. Only problem with Black Ops, it was to me and to any real, you know, shooter fan, it was the worst of the series. I know everybody says it's the best. It's lies because the hit detection is god awful,
Oh,
and you can't play a shooter with hit detection. That's god awful.
yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean, it was a lot of fun with the crew and stuff like that.
Was it still is? I played the beta of the new one. It's just as bad. I'm like, how did they not fix this thing 20 years later? Come on now.
Oh, they're still using, I think, the same engine. I'm not even
Oh, it's
joking.
so bad. My one of my friends who I used to play with all the time, like I play with them because they wanted to play it, but I hated the series because I started with Modern Warfare. Well, actually, I started with like the original Call of Duty, but
Oh,
Modern Warfare was the first one I played online like that. And
that
when
was
yeah, that
that was
I
might have been
aged
the
myself
pinnacle.
now. I know when I said I played
No,
the original Call of Duty, but
we
like
all played the original Call of Duty.
okay, I
I know
don't
I
feel
did.
bad then. But like, oh man, Modern Warfare. You shot somebody in the ear. They hit them in the ear. You shot them between the legs. They went between the legs. Black Ops. We literally had videos of us shooting people in the foot, and it said we got a headshot. Like, what
Yeah.
the hell is going on? Oh man, it was so bad. It was just so bad.
You wanna talk about dating yourself? All right. You ever remember playing the original Duke Nukem, the
yes,
2D
I
side scroller?
no, I wasn't a Duke fan. I wasn't a Duke fan. So
Yeah, I remember saving up $29 to buy Wolfenstein 3D. Yeah.
oh, bro, stop aging yourself. Just
seriously,
quit it.
I mean, I'm not that old, but like because for me, it was my oldest memory for gaming was I beat Super Mario Brothers when I was like 2, 3 years old.
That
I
was my dad. So my dad was the one who kind of got me into gaming, and him and I built my first PC, and we started in 1989, and we finished the build in 1990, and that was my first gaming PC. He never ended up gaming with me on PC, but Yeah, he started out in 1985 with the Nintendo. The year it
I
came
love it.
out.
Kid, the very first gaming system I ever had, okay, Atari 2600X.
Oh,
No, who the old guy in the room?
Bro, the funny part about it is I'm only 35.
yeah, I got 2 years on him.
See, I for me again, it was Nintendo, but then I grew up with Nintendo, and since I love gaming, I went to both. I had Sega, Nintendo. I was all about the console games even back then, but I dabbled in computer games. I played SWAT back in the day on the computer, which was a great game. It was a shitty game, but it was a great game.
Yeah, we
Those
know.
are one of those games that they're pretty bad, but you love them because it's somehow so good.
Dude, I remember loving Duke Nukem 3D because you could throw dollars at the strippers and they would take their tops off.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, no shame in it. No shame in it.
No shame.
Who
No shame at all.
who
I mean,
who hasn't took the hookers in Grand Theft Auto, made love, and then killed them for their money back?
I it's like a rite of passage. I think my son, because I haven't taught him about that yet. He doesn't know that there's hookers in Grand Theft Auto. He plays
Oh,
GTA
he'll
5
learn.
with me, but he has no idea that there's hookers in the game, and I don't think I'm going to tell him anytime soon.
No,
Maybe when
probably
he's
not
a
a good idea.
teenager.
Nah,
May
nah,
want to
nah.
keep that a secret.
Yeah, because you don't want him going to school like my dad.
My dad showed me what hookers are, bruh.
Oh, no, I actually so he was in 4K last year and we got this notice from the teacher saying about how Loki was telling stories in school and stuff like that, and we needed work on it with him about him lying and stuff like that, and how it was gonna affect him and stuff. So of course, I was like, whoa, okay. So I went and talked to the teacher, and I asked the teacher what it is about. She's like, oh yeah, he's telling us about how he plays all these games and he has his own gaming computer and stuff like that, and I was like, he does.
Yeah, like I would like. So where's the lie?
And she'd like stop because he's 4 years old and he's talking about playing all these games that a 4-year-old shouldn't be playing, and she's just like, wait, what? I go, yeah, he plays those games with me. I built him a PC so he could play games with me. Those aren't lies. And what had happened is she called him out in front of the whole class about lying. So I made her in front of me apologize to him in front of the entire class for calling my son a liar when he wasn't lying. And because it was just not cool. Like, you don't tell a kid he's lying when you don't know for a fact if he's lying or not. I mean,
Yeah, no,
obviously
that ain't
some
Oh yeah,
things
yeah.
are
No, I
there's
went
some
off on some
things.
lady for doing that too to my daughter.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
got pissed. I know how it
just
is. Trust me.
I mean, sure, kids do tell stories and they do tell lies, but you can't call them out on it unless you're 100% sure that it's a lie. And
Exactly.
the things he was talking about, like, it was clear. I mean, I even pulled up a video because I have footage of him playing Gears of War 4 with me. Um, and one of them, on YouTube, one of the videos on my YouTube channel is me playing Gears of War 4 with my son, and the title is listed as Gears of War 4 with my son. I don't put his name out there or anything like that, and this was from like when he was 3 years old. It was before he even went into 4K, and um, he started at a really young age. What had happened is I had Gears of War 4 up. I was playing a solo horde match. Um, and I had to go to the bathroom. So I paused it and set my controller down, and my son was sitting by my chair, and he'd been watching me play the game and stuff. And I go to the bathroom, and I come out of the bathroom, and my son is sitting in my chair with my controller, and he's playing the game. Like, he had figured out how to take the game off of pause, and he had figured out how to shoot and aim down the sights and go into cover all by himself. And I was just like, I stood there shocked and dumbfounded for a few minutes, like, uh, what the fuck is going on?
You're my new doubles partner.
And I'm like, okay. So then it was shortly after that, I put it on the Xbox, and he would play with me on the Xbox, and but he always wanted to play games with me, and at the time, Gears of War 4 was the only cross-play game we could play. And so then I built him a PC so he could play other games with me and stuff other than just Gears of War 4, because then it didn't have to be cross-play. Um, and then, of course, when Fortnite came out, I bought the Founders Pack for me and for him. And his first experience with Fortnite is playing the Save the World and not the PvP. For years, I didn't even let him play the Battle Royale because I didn't think it was good for him. Plus, it's better to teach kids how to work together at a young age than how to fight one another. And
Yeah.
I actually just had to have a conversation with my oldest daughter and her brother, which isn't my son, and my son, because they were playing a creative mode where they were playing basically 1v1v1v1. And I was like, look, you guys are done playing PvP until you guys can work together and play as a team. Like, you don't need to be fighting with each other because you're friends. Like, how many times do you see me and my friends doing 1v1 battles? You don't.
Yeah.
It's not something we
Exactly.
do. You play as a team. Like, you work together. You figure out how
Yeah.
to work together. And, like you and your fire team in Destiny, like, when you guys go into a raid or whatever, or in a mission, like, you don't have to know where your guys are because you've played with them for so long. You just know where they
Ooh.
are.
I have a great story about that too when you're done.
No worries, man. I mean, that's like what I want them to learn. Like, these guys are family, and they're all gamers, and it's amazing. I'm so blessed that all of my kids love playing video games, and even my, I don't even know what to call him. I'll just call him my step kid. Um, and my step kid being a huge gamer too. Like, it's so great that with Discord and all the stuff that they can play in 3 different households together and work together. And they finally have started doing that more. And it's pretty awesome. It's a great experience, and it's something that I'm glad that I could give to them.
Well, I have a story about being just one with a team. There was one guy I played with all the time. Like, we started off. He used to tell me, like, you could give baby boy a Pokemon game. If you gave Pikachu a gun, he'd like dominate at that game. And like, we played Call of Duty so much together, and every other game so much together. We got so good together that we were playing a doubles match one time in Call of Duty, and my girlfriend, now wifey, at the time, she called me. So I picked up. I said, "All right, I'm coming. I'm getting off mic for a second." She's calling. She's like, "All right." I put down the mic, talking to her, and we were on point to like watching each other's back and doing a perfect. We dominated the other team without having to even speak to each other. So when you break that story, it reminded me of that. I'm like, those are the days where you just know what the other person was doing without having to actually, speak to them or even have to look to see where they are. You know they're gonna be where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, it's a great feeling, man. What
But
about you, Zero? I know you got at least one of those.
Back in the day, when it was myself and Vader, Lowry, Z-Man, all of us, we messed around, but we all had each other's backs, and we knew each other's play styles, like down to exactly where we would stand on a map. Like, it's very rare that you can find somebody where you could find an entire team where you can know each other's movements on a map without even speaking in
or pick up that one power weapon to give to the guy you know needs it because they're just perfect with it.
Yeah. And it's, we would, and like now with Bomb Tank and Nighthawk, I found the same click with them because they, you know, they are they just know, they know the maps, they know the call outs. They don't have to, they don't have to be told, hey, this is what you need to do. They just do it instinctively.
Chemistry
So,
and geometry.
yeah.
Right. I would like to talk about Game Pass.
Hey, have at it, man.
It's amazing. Like I was, when it first came out, I was like, oh, that looks cool. And then it just kind of blew up to this amazing freaking thing where I actually start second guessing whether I should buy something because I'm like, it's probably gonna be on Game Pass. So like it's gotten to the point where the games on it are just so ridiculously good. And now that's one of the reasons why I got a PC, honestly, because I've been wanting one for a long time. I kept asking for it. Well, telling the wifey I want one. She's like, no. We're back and forth, and then I see all the games on that they bring over to PC. Plus, they confirmed starting I think last year and more into this year, they confirmed that every Xbox title going forward will also be on PC. So I was like, it's time. Let's go. So there's going to be no Xbox games I'm missing. Play at home anymore. So I can play at work, bring the Game Pass there, and I have an Xbox at work now. So the game's on there right now. Besides, that's how I play Gears. Me and my cousin played the entire campaign of Gears. It's just on Game Pass. Just right there, I wanted to get it, but I'm like, do I really want to spend $60 on that? I do like Gears, but I don't really play multiplayer like that anymore. But me and him wanted to play story games. So the day of launch, it was there. We jumped on. We played throughout the weekend. Beat the story. I was like, that was perfect. And going forward, Halo's going to be on it. So all the games that have in 2020, Wasteland 3 is going to be going on it. I'm kind of excited for that one. Outer Worlds is on there. Super excited for that one. So
Yeah,
I started that one. Yeah, I started it, and from what I've played so far, it's actually freaking hilarious. Like they do a pretty good job with the humor in it.
Nice. Isn't Metro Exodus on there too?
Yes, Metro is on there. Almost not all games, but pretty much almost every single game you can think of has either been on or is coming to Game Pass. Actually, PlayStation exclusive, the Yakuza 0, Kiwami 1, and Kiwami 2, they're going to be on there next year. Final Fantasy 7 through like 15 are all going to be on there next year.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 7 Remake. I was kind of excited for that game, and then I found out it was PS4 exclusive, and then I got bummed about it, and now I find out it's like a year exclusive to PS, and it'll eventually be on PC. So I'm kind of stoked about it, because I think they did the same thing, the same route they did with Final Fantasy 15, which, by the way, is my first Final Fantasy game I ever played. Because
God, I am sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't stand like the turn-based stuff or anything like that. Like I'm very much an action-orientated RPG. Like if it's got to be real-time fighting, or I'm not gonna play it. I actually enjoyed Final Fantasy 15. Whether or not it was a great game or not, I enjoyed it. The story was great for me, and I actually loved the controls too. Like it felt very fluid.
See, the thing I have with Final Fantasy 15, I liked it was fluid. It was very fluid, and the fighting at first to me was fun. It was fluid. It was fast paced. It was great. Problem is, it gets very repetitive.
Oh yeah.
After a couple hours, and I actually didn't finish the game. I got to the ending, and I just couldn't bring myself to finish it because I just got so sick of the fighting. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'll just watch the last half hour on YouTube or something because I just couldn't bring myself to fight. I was skipping side mission stuff, so I was a little underpowered because I just couldn't deal with the fighting anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I did
But
like every side mission I could. I like the saddest part was when I think her name was Luna, uh, like died. Like it's like, are you fucking serious? Really? You fucking assholes! I hate you all. All right, now I gotta finish the game and find out why she died.
see, as I was just saying, you hate turn based. For me, I like turn based games. I don't mind them. I prefer action based games also. But the thing that turns me off on turn based is random encounters. When I was a kid, Pokemon Red and Blue, I loved them. I put so many hours into them. But like I always say to people, if I see one more goddamn Zubat, I'm going to lose my freaking mind because you would walk into a cave and you would run into 50 of them. And the same thing with every RPG that's turn based. You walk 5 seconds to fight. You walk another 5 seconds, a fight. Walk another. It gets annoying. It should not be. That should not be a thing. You should be able to see the enemy, and that's why I like that when they're remaking all these old time games, they're actually changing it so you can see the characters.
Yeah. Uh, well, I
Agreed. That was my first foray into role playing games. Was Final Fantasy VII. Actually, that's a lie. First foray into role playing games for me was Shining Force back on the Sega Genesis. Um,
so Final Fantasy VII was your first. All right, we got it.
no, dude. I
Yeah,
hate to
you said it
say
right the
this,
first time.
but Shining Force is and always will be my favorite role playing game. Um, just the turn based action of and the chess like strategy that you have to have in that game is what makes it fun for me. It was actually when I got a gaming PC, uh, the first game I downloaded was the the Sega Mega Collection that included Shining Force and Shining Force 2. Simply
Nostalgia.
because that is, that's my childhood. And that's what, really got me into the finer minutia of gaming.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Now I will recommend as a veteran PC guy, the one game that I recommend both you guys go and play is the original Crisis. It's
Is it on Game Pass?
it is not. You have to buy it on Steam, but you can probably pick it up cheap. Uh, it is one of the most iconic PC games that you can go back and play. Um, it does need some tweaks to make it, you know, look good in this day and age. I mean, not that it looked bad. I mean, it was the benchmark for years of computer gaming. You know, the whole meme, can it run Crisis? That was a legit thing. Like it would melt PCs. And you know, obviously I modded it and put 4K textures into it and stuff like that. And I have a custom control action map XML file and stuff like that. And it is a good game. I mean, the story isn't great, but the game itself is just one of those games. Like, now that you got a PC and your PC can handle it, go play it because you'll really enjoy it. And it's crazy to see that back in 2007 they had these destructible environments that looked good and like all the crazy different things that you can do with the nano suit. And I mean, this was in 2007, and that's from last decade, and it's still something that I don't feel has been repeated since. Like, Crisis 2 was a dumbed down version. It was pretty, but you know, the nano suit was really dumbed down. Crisis 3 was better, but it still didn't hold a candle to the first nano suit.
No, that is something that I do have. I'm on my list, but as of right now, just on Game Pass alone for PC, I put on my play later list. I have State of Decay, Halo Wars, Blair Witch, Metro Exodus, Phoenix Point, Gears Tactics, Age of Wonders, The Outer Worlds, Age of Empires 1 and 2, Dishonored 2, Everspace, Hearts of Iron, Kingdom Come, Rage 2, Shenmue 1 and 2, Torment, Undertale, We Happy Few, Bleeding Edge, Hotline Miami, Middle Earth, My Friend Pedro, or dude, the list is. I'm like Wasteland 3, Dead Rising 4. Like I
Yeah,
see all the games on. I'm like, I can't, I can't.
yeah. You're gonna have an infinite backlog, man. It's
It's just,
And
oh,
it
and then
only
that,
gets
that
worse.
it
And it
just
only
gets
gets
worse.
worse. That's the problem.
It does.
right.
Like then this freaking Steam, man, they come out with these $2 games. You're like, of course I'm gonna get that.
Oh
I'd be
yes.
stupid not to add to my 150 games.
Yeah, I had to stop buying games. I mean, I'm at like 3.99 or some shit like that, and yeah, I don't even play half of them. But
It is very hard to once you get a backlog, it is very hard to catch up. Which I think is probably why I don't play a lot of other games, is because I don't want to create a backlog.
Well, here's the problem. That whole meme of when you're a kid, you have all the time in the world to play games, but no money to buy them. As you get older, you have all the money to buy the games, but no time to play them. And
yep,
that's the problem
for
because
sure.
you get all these games, they sit there in the wrapping for a year and a half, and you open it, you play an hour of it, and you're like, oh, that was cool. Next one.
So I gotta kind of cut us off. We're a little over, but before we go, at the end of each podcast we do a roundtable, and this one, uh, what what was your best holiday Christmas present? Zero. Let's start with you.
I've got to say the 24-inch Spectra display that I ended up getting. Um, it has enabled me to not only be able to work from home with clarity, but it has enabled me to be able to game with some clarity on, on my PC. I mean, I've been sitting here not only doing this podcast, but rolling through Destiny, and I'm not having any issues at all. Um, you know, no lag, nothing, and I think it really helps because the other display I was using was a very old display, and this one is just LED. It is brand spanking new, and it just it's crisp. Or as the youth would put it now, it's fucking mint.
Yep, I'm fucking
Anymore?
old.
What happened to fire?
Oh no, it's
There's,
lit. It's lit, man. It's
oh, it's
lit.
lit. It's lit now. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. They just took fire and they're like, it's lit. Well, but nah, you gotta get past the lit part. You gotta go to the fire part. It's not cool to light to lit things. It's cool to see it burn.
Now it's cool. It's all fire. All right, I'll catch up on my lingo. What about you, baby boy?
I'm gonna let you go first because I have a. It's it actually it's kind of sad. So I'm gonna let you go first before I break down the
Oh,
mood.
so being the single dad, I didn't really get too many presents this year. So the one thing that I really, well, two things. I got a Fossil Sport smartwatch with Wear OS to match with my phone, and a pair of Skull Candy Sesh earbuds
Great.
through wireless. And it's great for me because, yeah, I don't get to listen to music much, but when I do, I love having good sounding earbuds. And I gotta say, the Seshes sound fucking amazing. The highs are crisp. It's got decent blow ends. They don't last as long as I'd like them to. You get about 3 hours of playback time, but I don't hardly ever get to listen to music for more than 3 hours, so that's not a huge deal. The smartwatch was a huge upgrade from my last one, and I will say I recommend Fossil smartwatches. I've been using it for about a week now, and the battery life is fucking amazing. It constantly goes over 24 hours without needing to charge, and recharges in an hour and a half, 2 hours, from zero to full. So I can't complain at all. Um, I paid for them, but they were from my kids. So thanks, kids. Appreciate it.
That's how it usually goes. Okay, well, for me, if we're going this year, I would have to say, but my laptop I bought myself. No, but but actually, I do like my daughter made me. She made me something, so it was personal,
Oh,
and I do like that. That was my favorite. I have to. My sister broke it by accident, so she has to fix it for me. But I'm gonna bring
what
that to work. Hmm?
what'd she make you?
She made me. It's a little thing. She took like a styrofoam like square, and she like colored it and put drew on it and stuff like that. And then she took a can like a little the top of a milk container basically,
Yep,
and like put that on super glue that on top and like colored that and stuff, and it came out nice. I was like, ah, I like that. I'm gonna put that at work with all the 100 other things you gave me.
that's awesome.
So, but so that was this year. But the best gift, one of my favorite, because I was a spoiled little kid. My parents were great and they gave me pretty much anything I wanted. Because I never asked for anything all year long. I just asked for Christmas. Don't give me clothes. Give me video games. So they usually did. And even as I grew up, there was the same thing. Like I don't want clothes. I don't want anything else. Just give me games. Like I don't want to bother myself. Just give me games. And the year that my dad passed, it was the year right before the Switch came out. So my um my dad, without me knowing, he had given he told my mom, he gave her the money to give to me after Christmas, and he said, she goes, "This was from your dad. He told me to tell you to specifically use it for your Switch. It's for that and that only. Make sure you get that." And he wanted to make sure that that's what you get with it. So my Nintendo Switch was technically my last gift that my dad got me.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, so I dropped it today for the first time like ever, and my sank in my butthole. I was super scared, and
Little
I was
tear in
like,
your
it was
eye.
still working. Yeah, pretty much. I was like, oh my god. But I that's one thing that I would never get rid of because even if that thing dies, it's just gonna stay around.
Yeah. No, I get it, man. Totally get it. But we gotta wrap it up. I want to thank you guys all for listening, and I want to thank you guys for joining me on this last podcast of the decade. So happy holidays, happy trails, and looking forward to some more great games with you guys. Peace.
See.